Choosing your first motorcycle is intimidating enough, but when you zoom in on the cruiser category, the options suddenly feel limitless.
They really do.
You're just drowning in heritage,
Yeah.
engine sizes, and often some really, really heavy price tags.
Mm-hmm.
So for a new rider, I mean, how do you cut through all that noise to find the absolute best balance of confidence, power, and, that iconic style?
Well, that's the entire mission of this deep dive. We've synthesized everything in your source material, and what becomes immediately apparent is that while the whole selection process for a beginner cruiser, it fundamentally shifts away from standard performance metrics.
Right.
The goal isn't speed or track times. It's all about building confidence and making sure you're comfortable.
I think that shift in focus is
Okay.
it's crucial. Confidence over everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When we talk about beginner cruisers, we're looking for predictable machines. And that predictability comes from two key things we see across all the recommended models. First, a low seat height. This allows new riders to firmly flat-foot the bike when they stop. Your sources specifically noted that some riders as short as 4'11" can flat-foot certain models.
Which eliminates that, panic moment of feeling tippy at a red light.
Totally. That fear of dropping the bike at 0 miles per hour is universal for beginners.
It is.
And the second principle is predictable power delivery. Cruisers are typically tuned for low to mid-range torque. So when you twist the throttle, the power comes on smoothly, linearly.
It's not like a high-revving sport bike that suddenly hits a massive power band at 8,000 RPM.
Precisely. That smooth, predictable curve is what keeps new riders comfortable and, in control.
Okay, let's unpack this. We have to start with the bike that every single source identifies as the go-to, the consensus pick. I think you called it the predictable golden goose of beginner motorcycles.
The Honda Rebel 500, it holds that title for a reason. The Rebel is the modern evolution of Honda's entry-level cruiser. I mean, it dates back to the 80s Rebel 250. It just manages to combine classic cruiser elements with this contemporary, almost sporty feel.
Tell us more about the mechanics. When we look at the specs, why is that engine so friendly for a beginner?
So the Rebel uses a 471cc liquid-cooled parallel twin. A parallel twin means the two cylinders are side by side, which usually leads to a smoother, less vibey engine than, say, a traditional V-twin.
Okay.
It generates a very manageable 47 horsepower and 33 foot-pounds of torque. That's enough to run on the freeway comfortably, but it's not twitchy or intimidating off the line.
And the ergonomics are what really make it shine for new riders.
Absolutely. The seat height is only 27 inches. That's low enough to just remove nearly all the anxiety about balance when you're stopped, but they didn't stop there. Honda includes a slipper assist clutch.
Wait, a slipper assist clutch? That sounds technical.
Yeah.
What exactly does that do for a new rider who's, learning to shift?
It basically does two things. First, it makes the physical clutch pull much, much lighter. So if you're practicing stop-and-go maneuvers for hours, your hand won't get tired as quickly.
Oh, good.
And second, the slipper part helps manage engine braking. If a new rider accidentally downshifts too aggressively, the clutch slips just a little. It prevents the rear wheel from locking up or hopping.
So it smooths out those early learning mistakes.
It's a massive confidence booster. Add in the wet weight of around 408 to 420 pounds and a starting price around $6,400. It's a near perfect entry point.
So if the Rebel 500 is the benchmark, what's the great alternative? A lot of sources point to the Kawasaki Eliminator 500 as this nimble competitor.
The Eliminator is fascinating. It's a direct response to the Rebel's popularity. It actually borrows DNA from the Ninja 400 sport bike using a 451cc parallel twin engine.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and it makes similar power, around 45 horsepower, but what really stands out is its extremely light wet weight. It's just 397 pounds.
So it's lighter and nimbler, which means easier handling at low speeds, but you still get that comfortable low-slung cruiser style.
Exactly. It's maybe a little less common than the Rebel, which might appeal to riders who want a similar profile, but with a bit more customizability, maybe a little more exclusivity right out of the gate.
And for riders on a tight budget who are mostly just riding in the city, we should briefly mention the entry-level option that pops up, the Yamaha Virago 250.
The Budget Warrior. This is mainly a used market find, and it's very cheap, like $2,000 to $4,000. It's an older design, a small 250cc V-twin, only making about 23 horsepower.
Super light, though.
Super light, 320 pounds, so it's very flickable. But look, this is strictly a town or urban commuter bike. If you have serious freeway plans, the Virago will struggle. But for learning clutch control and balance, it's a phenomenal, affordable start.
Okay, let's move on. Let's look at the bikes recommended for riders who might be a bit larger or who think they'll be carrying a passenger. They need more displacement, more comfort, and we start with the Kawasaki Vulcan S.
The Vulcan 650, yeah. The Vulcan S is kind of the sport bike of the cruiser world, mechanically.
How so?
It uses the 649cc parallel twin engine from the popular Ninja and Z650 models. So it's putting out a strong 61 horsepower and 47 foot-pounds of torque. It can definitely handle long-distance cruising and a passenger way better than the smaller 500s.
But the sources also say it has this boring reputation, that it can feel a little plasticky. Does that lack of cruiser soul outweigh the mechanical benefits for a beginner?
I mean, that's the key trade-off. It handles arguably the best on this entire list, almost like a standard motorcycle, which is great for new riders in the corners. But yeah, it lacks that visceral rumble of a V-twin.
And it looks very modern.
It does.
Yeah.
But what it offers to overcome that is the fantastic ErgoFit system.
Tell us more about ErgoFit. Is it just like a different seat, or does it genuinely let the bike grow with you?
Oh, it's way more than a seat swap. ErgoFit has 3 key adjustments: the seat position, the foot peg position forward, mid or rear, and different handlebars to adjust your reach.
So it's fully customizable.
It allows a dealer, or you, to customize the ergonomics for short, average, or tall body types. For a new rider who isn't sure what riding position they'll like, that's a massive selling point.
That flexibility is critical. Okay, from mechanical excellence, let's pivot to the bikes that really capture that classic, stripped-down American V-twin look. That brings us to the Yamaha Bolt R spec.
The Bolt is a full-throated homage to the Harley Sportster line, but, with metric reliability. It's got that stripped-down, rugged style and runs an air-cooled 942cc V-twin.
Okay, so that's a larger engine, 69 horsepower. That's starting to get up there for a beginner. Does the power still feel manageable?
It does, because of 2 things. First, that torque is tuned specifically for the low to mid-range. You get a satisfying surge of power, but it doesn't try to rip your arms off at high RPMs.
And the second thing?
Again, we're back to ergonomics. The seat height is just 27 inches. You sit in the bike, not on it. It gives you this strong sense of control. And the other huge advantage is the platform itself. Like the bike it's copying, the Bolt is super customizable.
Speaking of metric reliability, we absolutely have to talk about the Japanese heavyweights that have been anchoring this market for decades. The Honda Shadow and the Suzuki Boulevard.
They are the definition of dependability. The Honda Shadow comes as the classic chrome arrow and the blacked out Phantom. It's known for quality. It uses a 745cc V-twin, making about 45 horsepower.
And the sources kept saying it gives you the look of a badass Harley.
Right, that classic American profile, but with better modern tech and without the brand price tag.
And then there's the Suzuki Boulevard C50 and M50, which bring a really unique maintenance advantage.
They do. The C50 is the heritage model. The M50 is the musclier, blacked out version. They run an 805cc V-twin. The single most compelling feature is the shaft drive.
Shaft drive. Explain that to someone who might only know bikes or cars. What's the practical benefit for a new rider?
So a shaft-driven bike uses a drive shaft to transfer power, like in a car, instead of a chain or a belt. The enormous benefit is low maintenance. There's no chain to lube or tension or clean.
You just ride it.
You just ride it. One source called the Boulevard an absolute donkey that will run forever with basically no maintenance. The trade-off is weight. At around 600 pounds, they're heavy, but that makes them incredibly stable on the highway.
Okay, now we pivot from the workhorses to the aspirational machines. The premium cruisers. These are for the mature beginner, right? Someone whose net worth has grown, who wants the iconic style right away.
And we have to start with the Indian Scout 60. This is a perfect example of a bike that is new rider friendly despite its impressive power figures.
Yeah, it's got a 999cc V-twin. It puts out a massive 78 horsepower.
78 horsepower is huge.
So why is this on a beginner list? Isn't that dangerous?
Well, if we connect this back to our core principle, confidence and predictability, it makes sense. Indian tuned this engine for smooth power. And crucially, the Scout 60 has the lowest seat height on our list, just 26 inches.
Wow, that is low.
It is. The bike feels incredibly planted at 540 pounds. That low center of gravity keeps it from feeling top-heavy. If you have self-control, the ergonomics make the power totally manageable. But it comes at a premium, over $10,700.
Of course, you can't talk about American cruisers without the icon itself, the Harley-Davidson Iron 883. It's expensive, it's mechanically simple, it's low on power, yet people still flock to it. Why?
Curb appeal and cultural significance, pure and simple. The Sportster platform has the biggest aftermarket support in the entire motorcycle world. The Iron 883 is often called the AR-15 of motorcycles because you can change almost everything.
But let's be frank, it's an old 883cc engine that only makes about 50 horsepower, the same as the much smaller 500cc bikes. And it costs over $11,000 new.
You justify it with the experience and more realistically with the used market. Since so many people start on the 883 and then upgrade, you can find low mileage used models everywhere. And performance-wise, that low 50 horsepower output makes it really approachable for a beginner. You're paying for the heritage, the sound, the look.
And the limitless customization.
Exactly.
Okay, finally. For the beginner who might be a larger person or who just absolutely prioritizes long-distance comfort, we have the Kawasaki Vulcan 900 Custom.
This machine is built to just cover ground. It's heavy, 620 pounds, but that weight makes for a supremely stable, relaxed ride. It's got a 903cc engine with 50 horsepower and a healthy 58 foot-pounds of torque.
And the riding position.
It's got wide drag bars and a very straight-up seating position that riders find really comfortable. It's just way less tiring for those longer day trips.
Okay, so to synthesize all this, we've covered everything from light city commuters to these heavy premium tours. It's time to deliver the condensed, curated knowledge. Based on our analysis, here is the deep dive top 10 beginner cruiser synthesis.
This is the definitive list, reinforcing the primary advantage of each bike for you, the new rider.
Number 1, the Honda Rebel 500.
The gold standard. Lightweight, affordable, predictable power, and that critical 27-inch seat height with the forgiving slipper clutch.
Number 2, the Indian Scout 60.
The premium option for the mature beginner. Iconic style, super low 26-inch seat, and surprisingly manageable despite its 78 horsepower.
Number 3, the Kawasaki Vulcan S 650.
Best handling on the list, and that ErgoFit system makes it universally adjustable for any rider size. Total control.
Number 4, the Yamaha Bolt R Spec.
The perfect mix of modern reliability and retro looks, a great Sportster homage that's highly customizable and has 69 HP tuned for the street.
Number 5, the Harley-Davidson Iron 883.
Unbeatable iconic curb appeal. Customization potential is just through the roof thanks to that massive aftermarket. Number 6, the Honda Shadow Phantom Arrow.
High quality, renowned reliability, and it delivers that big, muscular bike look without the hefty price tag of an American V-twin.
Number 7 is the Kawasaki Vulcan 900.
That's for long-distance comfort and for bigger riders. It's heavy at 620 pounds, but stable, with a big tank and a really relaxed posture. Number 8, the Suzuki Boulevard C50 M50.
The low-maintenance champion. It's shaft-driven, built like an absolute donkey for decades of reliable service. Number 9, the Kawasaki Eliminator 500.
Lighter and nimbler than the competition. It's a great second choice to the Rebel, using that zippy 451cc Ninja-derived engine. And wrapping up at number 10, the Yamaha Virago 250.
The best budget entry point for city riding. You can find them for $2,000 to $4,000 used, and they're so light. Just a perfect low-speed learner. You know, looking across that whole list, the common denominator is just accessibility. It's not the size of the engine, it's how the manufacturer tunes the power and how low they can get that seat.
That's the true measure of a beginner cruiser.
It is.
That's the key takeaway right there. For you, the new rider, you have incredible options spanning every budget and size requirement, all prioritizing that sense of control. But here is the final thought for you to mull over. Cruisers often sacrifice outright speed for style and confidence. You have bikes like the low-powered Harley Iron 883 and the high-powered Indian Scout 60 on the same list. If the power delivery is predictable and easy to manage, is a high-horsepower figure like the 78 HP in the Indian Scout 60, still fundamentally safer for a beginner than a poorly tuned, smaller sport bike that delivers unpredictable, abrupt bursts of energy when you least expect it.
That decision hinges entirely on the tuning philosophy, not the number on the page. Something to consider as you decide which machine will welcome you into the world of cruising.
Exactly. We hope this deep dive into your source material gives you the clarity you need to pick your perfect first ride. Be safe and happy hunting.